Hey there, everybody. This is Kristen from Teaching Balance, and I am here with you for this week's 10-minute mindfulness meditation. And we are in a new month now, the month where we are going to focus on slowing down, which, as I was preparing and thinking about our little chat before we get started today, I came to the realization that even though I like the idea of slowing down, a part of me really resists it because there's things I want to do. So, this idea of being able to, I don't know if this is the right expression, but like have it all, like do everything you want to do, accomplish everything you want to accomplish, have all the fun and get all the work done and all of those sorts of things. It is seductive, I guess you could say, wanting to do this. But yet, when we try to do too much, or if we are too busy, or if we go too fast, that's when we tend to hit some bumps in the road and we can become overwhelmed. And our bodies try to tell us that we need to slow down, even though we might be disinclined to do so. So even right now for me, I'm feeling in this moment and today and just in the past like several days, I have this plan, this idea of things that I want to accomplish and things that I want to get done. And there are things happening in life that are keeping me from doing that for whatever the reason may be, which I'm not going to get into the details of right now. But taking on too much really can drain you and tax you. And the way that I think about it is it really undermines your efforts because the efforts that we have are, one would imagine, to grow and to do good and to create in a way that is beneficial to the world. And if we burn out and go too fast and don't take the time to slow down, then we don't get those things done. And sometimes we get put on hiatus for even longer than we anticipated. So that's my little nugget of wisdom for today, as far as being aware of the fact that you might be disinclined to slow down. And if that's so, accepting that, because that's okay. It's just the way you are in this moment. Maybe not all the time, but perhaps now. And then just to loosen your attachment to the idea of doing and accomplishing and checking things off and all of that kind of stuff that we do all the time that somehow makes us feel adequate, or I don't even know what it is. And to just do what we can to slow down and ease up on the doing and on the pressure that we put on ourselves, and just see if we can do a little bit less, and whatever it is that we do, to do it a little bit slower, which, as you noticed, my speaking slowed down as I'm preparing for this. So for our meditation today, what I thought would be appropriate is that we do our typical 10-minute mindfulness, but I'm going to try to speak even more slowly, which is not in my nature, and also to create a little bit more silence and spaciousness during our practice today. So if you haven't already, let's go ahead and get started. Feel free to take a seat. I'll get my timer going. 10 minutes. Closing your eyes or lowering your gaze. And settling in. And for this practice, perhaps even more importantly than in others, let's go ahead and take those deep breaths. Filling up the lungs from the bottom to the top. And then emptying the lungs from the top all the way to the bottom. And notice how that full exhale automatically invites another deep inhale, and just following that rhythm for a few more times. Remembering that the spirit of our practice today is slowing down. So as we slow down our breath, allowed our relaxation response to kick in, eventually allowing our breathing to resume its natural rhythm, which hopefully is a little bit slower than it might have been before we began. And your breath is the first of the anchors that you can rest your attention on. So let's just notice where we feel our breath. It might be different today than it usually is. There's no right place to feel it. But rest your attention on wherever you can feel your body breathing. Noticing if the mind has wandered, and if it has, just gently and with kindness bringing your attention back to the breath. If you'd like to keep your attention on the breath or whatever other anchor you're using, please do. But the second option is to listen to sounds. You may notice that there's a constant quality, perhaps the heat or a fan or even a ringing in your ears. Just noticing that. And also noticing the sounds that will come and go. Sounds of movement, sounds inside the room and outside the room. And when the mind wanders, just bringing it back to whatever anchor you're choosing to rest it on. Remembering there's no good sounds or bad sounds. It's all just sound waves hitting your ear. And if you care to remain with your attention resting on sounds, you can. But then that other third option is to rest your awareness on your body. With this emphasis on slowing down, perhaps noticing what parts of your body feel particularly still, and what parts of your body don't feel still at all. There might be a twitching, a contracting, even an itch. And neither is better than the other. You're just resting your attention on how it is. In many cases, I invite you to allow yourself to shift between anchors, whatever you prefer, going from breath to body to sounds to body, whatever. And you can continue to do that, or you can also see how you do with just holding your attention on one type of anchor for the remainder of our sit. There's a couple of minutes left. Seeing if that opportunity to just hold in this place, to slow down and be still in this moment, you can get back to everything else in life shortly. But for our purposes, in the last few minutes, doing the best you can just to stay where you are. To stay in this moment. Allowing yourself to observe and be a witness to your experience without trying to change it, but just being as fully present as you can. And we'll try to hold that presence in silence until the final bell. Our 10 minutes. I even found it hard to go slow while we were doing that, and hard to find those spaces of silence because it really isn't necessarily my natural inclination. So there is a bit of efforting that goes into slowing down, even though you'd think it would be the reverse. You have to be aware of the need and then put forth the effort to slow your momentum, I guess you could say. So I hope you found that to be of value. Thank you, as always, for taking the time for yourself to sit and be still and slow down. And thank you, of course, for allowing me to accompany you on this journey. I look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll do a little bit more with this theme of slowing down. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye.